Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I've got Sherman and Slothy with me. Sherman, how you doing?
Doing good, doing fantastic. I'm getting tired because we're starting the busy season for me. So, how about you guys?
I'm doing pretty good. Shockingly, my leg is still broken, so I've been just hanging out at home, doing nothing. The most bored I've ever been, but I've got other fun things I'll talk about after. And Slothy, how are you doing?
I'm also doing pretty well, thanks. It was a good week. Looking forward to the long weekend.
It's good to hear.
Long weekend.
Yeah, any big plans for either of your long weekends?
Work.
Nope.
Just hang out a little bit. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm going into work. We only take 2 days off for holidays, Christmas and New Year's, and that's it.
That's fair. This is the longest weekend for me, but I was going to say I set up some arena stuff, so I'm going to do a little arena stream. I'm the most bored I've ever been. I've got just nothing to do while I'm off work. It's so boring. I'm used to working 90-ish hours a week, give or take, and going from 90 to having to lay in bed is brutal. But my foot seems to be getting better, so that's at least good.
That's good. I'm just going to swing by your place and just drop off like a pile of games for you.
Right? I really should just like move an Xbox up the stairs and play. Oh yeah, and I got glasses so I can actually see my TV now. I just thought my TV sucked. Turns out I was blind. Should be wearing my glasses right now, but we're not. But the reason I was the reason I was mentioning the arena one is this is one of the ones I just brewed on arena. Is super fun. Obviously, the not arena version of the deck for actual Commander is always gonna be better than arena is what you get. You kind of take what you get, you know?
Yeah.
It's maybe arena may be day old pizza, but it's still at least okay. But take us away into what this week's Commander is, because I've really liked this one ever since we've seen it. It's a silly name. It's a silly artwork. I love it.
Okay, so we have Glarb, Calamitys Augur. So it's for a black, green, blue. That's a 2/4 Frog Wizard Noble. It has Death Touch. Now, you may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast spells with mana value 4 or greater from the top of your library, and you can tap it to Surveil 2. So it seems like an interesting commander, in all honesty.
It's the fact that it always sits up as like a Death Touch commander, because like generally speaking, unless you really need it, you're not surveilling 2, right? Like on your turn.
Yeah, you're gonna wait, and it has a big butt. It's a 2/4 with Death Touch.
Yeah, but any Death Touch commander's a problem. It's a real problem. It gives you all of that. The way that I want to brew this like in person, I really want to brew miracles with it. Glarb's miracles. I think that'd be silly, but there's not enough miracle cards. They need more miracles.
Yeah, there's definitely not enough. I looked into that. There's definitely not enough.
Every time I want to do, I'm like, maybe 5-color miracles work. It doesn't. It just doesn't.
No.
But the fact that this can hit the majority, you're not stuck with creature spells. You're not stuck with like non-land or you're not stuck with non-land like normal. So you're able to just like rip through whatever you need. Like depending on how you build this and what direction you go, you could theoretically just only put 4 CMC and higher and lands in this deck and just go hard, right?
Oh yeah, you can totally do that. So like a lot of people, I'm more certain, will go like the land route, but we already did that with Flubs. So I'm like, nope, let's not do that.
Yeah. To me, the land, I wouldn't so much go this one as the landfall, right? I would at least for me, like I just got your list, so I haven't looked through how you've done it. But I would do that as like I just hope I don't miss my land drop as the extra ability, right? Like I'm just trying to get there later on, but it's not the theme of the deck. That's at least no. Like I said, I don't know what direction you went. Let's jump into it though. Oh, it's such a silly artwork too. I gotta pop it up for the video. It's just so dumb, so regal.
I love the artwork. It's like sitting on a throne of lily pads. Come on, that's so dope.
I'm so into the Bloomborough stuff. Like I love every part of the set. It's been my I would say probably favorite set since Strixhaven, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely the one that you've been most hyped about since Strixhaven.
Well, yeah, like it just does it does a lot for my brain. I like the artwork. The story's been very entertaining and stuff. We just did another lore-bound one. Go listen to it. Self-plug, shameless. But yeah, like it just for so long, everything has been video game series after video game series, and like, oh, it's silly cowboys. And this I don't know, just to me at least feels more like Magic. It feels more like a fantasy actual Magic setting rather than like, oh, here's like New Capenna with like some gangster briefcase demons. And I'm like, personally, that's just me. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna brew this stuff forever. I gotta brew all of the Calamity Beasts. I need Thunder. I need them. Let's jump into the artifacts. We only have 2. I like it. So our first one we've got is an Arcane Signet, 2 mana, a nice just quick color fix. Tap, you add 1 mana of your commander's color identity.
And then we've just got a simple Soul Ring, 1 mana, tap for 2 colorless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not many artifacts, just the 2. Don't need it.
What section do you want to hit next? Do you want to go right into creature? Or do you want to go?
Yeah, we'll go into creatures. So, like you'll see, I have sorcery creatures and instants the most. So I have some enchantments, but artifacts enchantments I barely have anything. But creatures, we're gonna load it up here.
Yeah, jump into it, I guess.
All right. So first one we have, it's gonna be Avatar of Woe for 6 and double black. It's an avatar that's 6/5. If there are 10 or more cards total in all graveyards, okay? This spell costs 6 less to cast. It has fear, and you can tap it to destroy target creature, and it cannot be regenerated.
A 6/5 at 2 mana is pretty problematic.
Yeah, especially when you're casting it off the top of your library, just cause.
Yeah. Because Glarb doesn't care that it costs less. You just could have dumped it for 2 black.
Yeah, we don't care.
And the Murko deck, I would say, has shown me how wildly good Surveil can be.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen Slothy play Murko, I've seen Sherman play Murko, and I've seen one of my other friends, Caleb, play Murko, and they are just fun decks.
Reanimating is so much fun.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. Take me back, right? We've got a Bane of Progress. You didn't have a lot of artifacts, so you don't care. It's a 4 double green, 2/2 elemental, and I've been really liking putting in similar effects where it blanket board wipes things. Protection, okay, go ahead, right? We have your Bane of Progress enters, destroys all artifacts and enchantments, a 1/1 counter on it for each permanent destroyed this way. This is a great way to get rid of treasure players, hoarding stuff, and because they can still dump it in, right? But
yeah. And then we've got the Dimir Spybug, blue and a black for a 1/1 insect with flying and menace. And whenever you surveil, put a +1/+1 counter on Dimir Spybug.
Yeah, this is a fun one just because, like, not just for the fact that it's flying, but it has menace, and that's really annoying. Like, you gave evasion twice onto this creature. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Well, and with the Surveil built right into that could be a problem pretty fast.
Yeah. Could be a bit of a problem. It's going to be a pest that you want to get rid of.
Well,
absolutely.
Even after you've done it once or twice, right? Like a 3/3 flying menace at 2 after you've surveilled twice is annoying. It's obnoxious, right? I've got to throw 2 things in front of it. It's not like I can just throw little 1/1 Thopters in front of it.
We'll be right back.
Do you like video games, podcasts, and reminiscing? I'm actor, video game writer, and total sweetie pie, Connor Savage McCabe, and on each episode of Call Me By Your Game, I sit down with a guest for an intimate look at a special game from their past. Did you and your dad beat Spyro the Dragon over the holidays? Or was Halo 4 the one thing that united your roommates during your senior year of college? Stories like these are what Call Me By Your Game is about. From video game content creator Janet Garcia to Hades voice actor Courtney Vinay's, I interview wonderful comedians and game industry friends about these memories. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and maybe someday you'll call me by your game.
Yeah, exactly. So the next one we have is going to be Disciple of the Ring for 3 double blue. Human Wizard. It's a 3/4. For 1 mana, exile an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. You choose 1. You can either counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2. Or Disciple of the Ring gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Or tap target creature or untap target creature.
Pretty good.
This is a brutal card in this deck.
Yeah, with the amount of instants and sorceries it appears you have, it seems like it's going to do its thing real often.
Yeah. So this is the start of what this deck is all about. It's all about tapping and untapping.
Well, that's a power engine too, right? Because you don't need to tap this to do it. You just need mana, and mana shouldn't be a problem if you can play mana or like you can play lands from the top of your deck.
Yeah.
A 1 mana counterspell on things is annoying, but what's more annoying is you're not limited to doing it one time. You can just stack it like 6 times. Be like, okay, pay it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's gross.
And like your commander basically feeds the graveyard if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, which is the nice thing. So if like, okay, you don't have a counter spell, okay, tap Glarb to Surveil. All right, is there an instant or sorcery in one of those piles? Okay, so there's 35 instant and sorcery cards total. All right, so you have a pretty good chance that you're gonna pull an instant or sorcery into Surveil too. So with that, just dump one in the grave and then pay 1 and try to counter it.
I could never build a deck with that.
Mm-hmm.
Even my Spellslinger decks don't have that many instant sorceries. That's crazy.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, and you have extra mana, fine, no problem. Pay 1, and do it, or find out, like, we have other things to untap creatures. So you just untap Glarb, do that again, pay 1, and keep going until you find like the instant or sorcery, so you can like counter things.
I've never really like Disciple of the Ring. I've thrown it into like wizard decks, like on theme, but I've never really had like the respect for the card that I have after seeing, because I can already piece it together in a deck where you can fill the grave like with your commander.
Yes,
that's so obnoxious. And what's really funny is, like I said, I would when we're looking at the cards giant on the screen, it's very easy to have like a better understanding of them instead of like in the middle of a game. I wouldn't even think about having my thing countered twice. I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I can just save 2 mana and be okay. And then you do it one more time, I'd be livid.
Yeah, so you're basically like being like, okay, I could tax it. I can tax your spells either 2 mana or 4 mana or 6 mana, etc., etc., etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
the tax, man, that's brutal.
Yeah, we're creating a lot of different targets on our board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a little more with our Surveil theme here. Dog Detective. I love that name, by the way. It's so funny. 1 and a black for a 2/1 human rogue. When Dogged Detective enters the battlefield, you surveil 2. Awesome. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you can return it to your graveyard from your graveyard to your hand. Solid.
Yeah. It'll come back a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's a great sacrifice creature too, and the ability to always surveil every time. Love it.
Yeah.
Then there is Eternal Witness, 1 double green for 2/1 human shaman. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target card from your graveyard to your hand.
Gotta have some recursion. Gotta have it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this one, our next one is one of our first untappers. It's going to be Fate Stitcher for 3 and a blue. Zombie Wizard. It's a 1/2. You can tap it, and you may tap or untap another target permanent. And it has Unearthed for 1 blue mana. So Unearthed, once again, is return this card from your graveyard to play. It gains haste. Remove it from the game at the end of turn, or if it would leave play. Unearthed only as a sorcery.
Yeah, not so bad. It's that's nice. Worst case, you can, if you throw it away, you can still get it back at least momentarily.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we can use this to either untap our commander or untap a land to, Order Soul Ring to just ramp us a little bit more, etc.
Yeah.
This next one's an interesting one, which I have not seen played in an EDH game ever. It's Hell's Caretaker. You have your 3 and a black. It's a 1/1 Hell's Caretaker. I would have to find out what actual creature type it is. You sack a creature to take target creature from your graveyard, put it directly into play as if it were just summoned. Use only during your upkeep. That's a great little sack outlet.
So, go ahead.
Sorry, just kind of going back to what Dan was saying. This is now classified as a horror.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering what it would be. I was just about to go look it up myself.
So, this deck, if you really, really, really want to go infinite, throw in Intruder Alarm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because then you can cycle through and just destroy everyone with Hell's Caretaker and Intruder Alarm during your upkeep.
Normally, like they've tried in recent days to fix problems like that, where it's like if it would leave, like it's all finality this, finality that, right? But yeah, like you said, nothing stops you from like just dumping in non-stop, like a Zulaport, for instance, like just like sacrifice Zulaport, get blah 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 back, like just back and forth with the aristocrats dies triggers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. So with intruder alarm, it would make you could go infinite and just like swapping like two creatures back and forth again and again and again. So
well, yeah, infinite ETBs, infinite.
Yeah, surveils, infinite stuff like that. I did have it in the deck. I did take it out for this.
Okay.
Your infinites, or
yeah, I took out my infinites.
That's fair.
We're not that cheesy here.
Sack. Yeah, so it's errata is sack a creature, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield only during your upkeep. There's literally no other thing, and it can sack itself.
Yeah,
but it can't be its own target. Yeah. Okay, well that's pretty sick. House Caretaker would be a fun card to play around with. I've never used it in decks. I'm happy with this new discovery.
Yeah, it's an old card, as you can see. I think they did reprint it in 25th.
Yeah, I just was looking.
And that was it. Yeah.
Alrighty. The next one we've got here is Eareth of the Healing House. 2 and a blue for a 1/4 legendary human cleric. You can tap it to untap another target permanent, or tap it to untap 2 other target legendary creatures.
Decent.
Yeah. Easy peasy. So next one we have is Izoni Zaltandide. For 2 and a double black, double green. Legendary creature, Elf Shaman. It's a 2/3. It has Undergrowth. When Izoni enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token for each creature card in your graveyard. For a black and a green, sacrifice another creature, you gain 1 life and draw a card. So this is what I mean, like with the Hell's Caretaker and like the Intruder Alarm. You can like go infinite with things like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can just keep bringing it in. You get so many creatures. I always want to build a Zoni, and then I don't. And I always wish every time I see it that it had blue. I think that if this creature had blue in it, it would be just a phenomenal self-mill commander, like that would bring a lot to it.
Yeah.
The fact that I can't self-mill myself in blue is in green and black is well, not that you can't, but you can't do it as effectively.
Yeah.
It is probably why I haven't gone hard into it, but I always want to build in a Zoni list. Every time I see it, I'm like, even right now, I'm just like, that would be a fun commander. Yeah, this is, you've got what, 25 creatures in here, so you can possibly like have this enter as like a 25 or 26 creatures, like if you're late gaming this after like a massive board wipe. That's brutal.
Yeah, so in truth be told, there a good chance it would be like 8 or 9, you know, because like you're dumping stuff, you're surveilling a decent amount, so you're trying to dump stuff in your graveyard, so you're gonna run around like 8, 9, or maybe 10 insects. The first time you bring Izoni out.
Yeah.
And then with things like Hell's Caretaker, you know, you can like sacrifice like Izoni and then bring it back and all that stuff. So it does help.
Well, the fact too that it just turns all of your creatures into gain a life, draw a card if you need it, sack outlet. Pretty solid.
Yeah. So like even like the last 3 cards, okay, so it's like, okay, you know, have cast Izoni, House Caretaker, tap House Caretaker, sacrifice Izoni to bring back a different creature. Okay, go Iloreth to untap the House Caretaker, tap House Caretaker, sack an insect to bring back Izoni and create more insects again.
Well, again, it turns your dog detective thing that we talked about earlier into just a constant recursion. There's so many. In a general EDH game, there's going to be a player drawing 2 cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
In every one of my games, I'm throwing Howling Mine in everything. I'm out of Howling Mines. I need them so bad. We have Jadzi, which is a really, really cool card from Strixhaven. We were talking a little bit about Strixhaven earlier. Jadzi, Oracle of Arcavios, which is the plane of Strixhaven. Learn the lore, people. 6 double blue is a 5/5 human wizard. It's a flip card. Number 1 is discard a card, return it to your hand, which is great in a Surveil deck. Awesome. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land, you can cast it by paying 1 rather than its mana cost. If it's a land, you can put it onto the battlefield. Knowing what's at the top of your deck always in this deck is going to be really, really powerful with that ability.
Yep.
being able to cast because you're all high CMC with this commander, right? So paying 1 mana to dump in a Zoni is obnoxious, right? Like it's really, really good. The fact that you can recur this for nothing in this deck, for just nothing, you just throw it away, is great.
Yep.
And then its flip side is Journey to the Oracle. It's 2 double green. You can put any number of lands from your hand onto the battlefield. Then if you control 8 or more lands, you can discard a card. If you do, you return it to its owner's hand. Jazzy's great.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like you can cast this off the top of your library, like the flip side with your commander. It doesn't care.
Yeah, Jazzy's awesome.
Yeah. So this is a really, really strong card. Sure, it's 8 mana, but once again, we have things to bring back, like to reanimate. So it's not as big of a deal.
8 mana sounds rough until you realize how hard. Like if you half your deck's instants and sorceries, right? Basically, every time you're gonna pay 1 mana to get a second ability off, or to get or to get another land drop into play, which is really, really good. Like I haven't looked at your instant sorcery yet, but even already, there's just like for 1 mana you can dump, like I said, a Zoni, Fate Stitcher, your Disciple of the Ring, your Bane of Progress, your Avatar of Woe. Those are all things you definitely don't want hitting the board at 1 mana.
Yeah.
Bane of Progress at 1 mana, I throw up. Take it away, Slothy.
Sure. Next one we've got is Kelpie Guide. 2 and a blue for a 2/2 beast. Tap it to untap another target permanent you control, or tap it to tap target permanent and activate only if you control 8 or more lands.
Yeah. We don't care about the second ability. We just care about the first one, untapping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, maybe super hard late game if you needed to tap something, but yeah, you want to untap.
Yeah, it's very rare.
Yeah, we care about the untap, not the tap.
Yeah. So the next one is one of our cheap board wipes is going to be Massacre Girl for 3 double black. Legendary creature, human assassin, 4/4, has menace. When Massacre Girl enters the battlefield, each other creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Whenever a creature dies this turn, each creature other than Massacre Girl gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Gotta have those board wipes.
That chain board wipe's brutal every time.
You rarely see it fail.
I made a Massacre Girl deck, and I got approximately 2 games in with my Massacre Girl deck, and then both play groups. I played it into 2 different groups, and both people hated it. They were just like, this isn't fun. It was an ETB, Conjurer's Closet in and out. And yeah, nobody liked it. Liked it. It's brutal. You have protection, you have Shroud, you have Indestructible. Doesn't matter. Somebody has any 1/1s on the board. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, it's true.
Ugh. The fact that it chains is so bad. So bad. It's gross. It's one of our answers. It's one of our answers for Indestructible right now. Yeah. Having an answer to Indestructible and the and Shroud kind of things, making people sacrifice things, making people have these board wipes, that's brutal.
Yeah.
It's also not a card you see very often, so it really hurts to hit the play. Ugh, don't like again, Massacre Girl at 1 mana. I'm leaving. I'm going home. We had Mirko, like we talked about. 1/1 black 1 blue for a 1/3 vampire detective with flying and vigilance, and I still don't even understand why they gave it those stats. It's crazy. Whenever you surveil, you put a 1/1 counter on Mirko, and you have a surveil commander, so that matters a lot. And at the beginning of your end step, you can return target creature with power less than it from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Every part of this, it auto include in this one.
It's so brutal.
Yes.
Oh, it's rough.
Speaking of, we've got Muldrotha the Gravetide. 3 black, green, blue for a 6/6 legendary elemental avatar. During each of your turns, you may play a land and cast a permanent spell of each type from your graveyard.
Great card. It's so necessary.
I was gonna say I've never seen, for how many Muldrotha decks I've built, I've never seen the up close version of it. That's what I talk about all the time. We had to see it big. I've never noticed the giant ship in the middle of the Muldrotha there.
Oh yeah, inside of Muldrotha itself. Yeah.
The Gravetide makes sense, and the big wave. I love Muldrotha. We were talking, to quickly interrupt the episode, we're probably going to start doing a few like bonus like mini episodes because we have so many decks. Between the three of us, we have so many. There's no way to get to it. There's no like, what do you guys want? 5 episodes a week? It's not happening. We don't have time for that. But like we've got so many episodes, like so many decks. Like Sherman has a Muldrotha deck, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Slothy, have you ever built Muldrotha?
I have built Muldrotha, yeah.
Yeah, so between us, we have at least 5 Muldrotha decks. We're never going to get through 5 different Muldrotha builds. It's never going to happen. So we got to start doing a few mini bonus episodes on that kind of stuff. We'll work out the details. We'll workshop it. But yeah, that Muldrotha is great. I love that card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next one we have here is going to be the Muldrifter for 4 and a blue. The Elemental 2/2 has flying. When it enters the battlefield, you draw 2 cards, and it has Evoke for 2 and a blue. So you may cast this spell for its Evoke cost. If you do, you sacrifice it when it enters the battlefield. Once again, your commander does not care. It has mana value of 5, but we can cast it for its Evoke cost. It doesn't matter. We're casting it for its Evoke cost.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your Ramanap, so even if you are throwing your lands away, you can play them. 2 and a green for a 2/3 Naga Cleric. You can play lands from your graveyard. Who doesn't like it?
Gotta love it.
Then you've got Steve. Scour Tribe Elder, 1 and a green for a 1/1 Snake Shaman. You can sacrifice it, search your library for basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle.
I still want to know why we call it Steve.
That's his name.
But where did that originally come from?
I think it's like the STE, Sakura Tribe Elder Steve. Maybe.
Sure.
I'm
like, it's always bothered me. Like, I can understand Prodigal Sorcerer from Tim from like Monty Python.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, but like Steve for Sakura Tribe Elder, I don't know. It's always bugged me.
I'm too old for references. My wife explained to me the other day. She's like, just telling me different words and the thing. She's like, yeah, like Riz, like, you know, from Charisma. I was like, what? Is that what that was from? I'm just too old to get it. It's like, yeah, see?
Yeah, even I have trouble keeping up with all of the slang.
Yeah.
And you're the youngest one of all of us.
Yeah, I'm too old to learn new things. I'm just gonna call it Sakura Tribe Elder. Everyone's like Steve, and I'm like, you got it, bud. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
that is him.
Definitely know that guy.
Okay, next one we have here is going to be the Savvy Trader for 3 and a green. It's a human citizen for 3/3. When the trader enters the battlefield, exile target permanent card from your graveyard. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 less to cast, including the top of our library. Yay!
That is from somewhere else. I don't like this card. I don't like how it's looking at me. I said it when we looked at the spoilers, and I'll say it again. It unnerves me.
The person looks creepy.
Yeah, it looks like a skinwalker. It's got real skinwalker vibes. Just something about it's off. It's uncanny valley stuff. We have
minus all the blades that they have in the background and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
We have our Scavenging Ooze, 1 and a green for a 2/2 ooze. Pay a green, exile target card from a graveyard. If it's a creature, put a 1/1 counter on it, and you gain a life.
Yeah.
Good way to. I like that you've included lots of different answers to lots of different deck archetypes.
I like interaction.
Yeah, well, for us, like, this is a great way to just emergency gain a little life if we need. It's also great to shut down other people trying to play from the grave. Only us. The grave belongs to Glarb.
Only we get to benefit from certain things, please.
Right?
We've got our Seedborn Muse, 3 double blue for 2/4 Spirit. Untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step.
Yeah. I
Makes
debated a lot whether to keep this in or not. It's just, it's so useful in this deck. It's way too useful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Having a commander with a tap ability, you want to use it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we have the commander with the tap ability, but we also have other creatures where you tap to untap things, so it generates even more value because of that. And that's the issue I have. So that plus the fact that like we can play stuff from the top of our library that are instants and everything if they're greater than the mana value is greater than 4 or 4 or greater. It's almost like something that you must have. Sure, it's pricey, but there's no way we'd really replace this, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, but you only enter, like, I considered doing something different where instead just going an artifact route so that I can cast a bunch of things from the top of my library and have those cost reductions for artifacts and historics.
Mm-hmm.
And then having things like unwinding clock and whatnot. But then it just changed the whole deck, right? So it's going to be a different deck. So I'm like, nah, let's just throw this in and keep what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. The next card we do have here is going to be a Shriek Maw for 4 in the black. It's an elemental. It's a 3/2. It has fear. And when it enters the battlefield, you destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature. But we care about the evoke cost because it has evoke for 1 in a black.
Yeah. Again, a nice way to throw it off the top of the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If need be.
Yeah. We have a Sir Conrad the Grim as well. I should go back to my other screen. Sir Conrad the Grim, 3 double black for 5/4 human knight. Conrad's a good card. There's just no way around it. It's a good card.
Mm-hmm.
It is whenever another creature dies or a creature is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than it, or a creature leaves your graveyard, 1 damage to each opponent and each player mills a card. Yeah, it's a problem. Problem all around. When it enters, when it leaves, when it gets milled, when it doesn't get milled, everything. I like it.
Then we've got the Vizier of Tumbling Sands, 2 in a blue for a 1/3 human cleric. You can tap it to untap another target permanent. It has cycling for 1 in a blue, and whenever you cycle Vizier of Tumbling Sands, you can untap target permanent.
Actually useful in here.
Yeah, both abilities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we come to our final creature here. It's going to be World Shaper for 3 in a green. Merfolk Shaman, 3/3. When it attacks, you mill 3 cards. When the World Shaper dies, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So it's one of those cards, you don't have to have it, but considering that you're going to surveil from time to time, and you're just going to throw those lands in from time to time, you might as well try to benefit from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you have things like, your Shriek Maw or Avatar of Woe, where you can destroy your own creature.
True.
I'm just taking a look here. What was... I feel like this was a old, expensive card. Am I crazy?
It came in from Ixalan. It used to be like a $10 card, but then they reprinted it in a couple times, I think. So, they reprinted it in Streets of New Capenna, and from Thunder Junction.
Oh, okay. That would make sense. I was like, I don't think this was a $2 card.
Yeah, when it first came out, I think it was $5. Then it went up to like 10 or something like that, and then now it's dropped down just because they have reprinted it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We go into our enchantments, a nice small enchantment section. We start Animate Dead. Animate Dead's really still pricey. It's got to go down at some point. 1 in the black, Enchantment Aura. Enchant a creature in a graveyard. When it enters, if it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card in a graveyard and gains enchant creature put onto the graveyard with it. Basically, you put it on whatever creature you do. It's a lot. Return enchanted creature to the battlefield under your control and attach an Animate Dead to it. When it leaves, that creature's controller sacks it.
Yeah, and it gets -1, -0.
Yeah, and -1, -0.
Yeah.
That never matters to me because I'm never animating like something that I really want to attack with. It's like a piece like a Seedborn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if Seedborn has -1, -0.
If you really, really want, you can bring back Bane of Progress just for that board wipe. It'll go away again because of it, but still.
Yeah.
True.
The next one we've got is Disinformation Campaign. 1 blue and a black. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card, and each opponent discards a card. Whenever you surveil, you can return Disinformation Campaign to its owner's hand.
That's awesome.
It's a great card. This card is so annoying.
There really were some bangers in the Mirko deck.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the fact that you have things like that and then, like, Massacre Worm in there, just like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
And then our last enchantment here is going to be Instill Energy for a single green. Enchant creature. Target creature can attack this turn. It comes into play on your side. And during your turn, untap target creature, Instill Energy enchants. Use this ability only once each turn. So, it's like almost like a pseudo haste.
Yeah, I like it. Instill Energy is a great card.
Old card.
It is an old card.
Super old.
We go.
I don't know what section you have next there, Daniel.
Let's do instance.
Okay.
I'll rip into it with the Assassin's Ink. It's a 2 double black. Really cheap card. 2 double black, 1 less if you control an artifact, and 1 less if you control an enchantment. So again, possibly off the top of the deck for 2 mana, which is cool. I like the alternate costs. Destroy target creature or planeswalker.
Yeah, I'm playing around with this. Chances are you will have to pay the full 4.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are, because there's only total 5 artifacts and enchantments.
Yeah.
But still, it's a card I just want to play around with. It's different, right? So
Exactly. Then we've got Back to Nature. 1 and a green. Destroy all enchantments. Doesn't affect you at all.
no, not that much. We don't care.
Yeah.
Next card we have here is Baleful Mastery for 3 and a black. You may pay 1 and a black rather than pay the spell's mana cost. If the 1 and a black cost was paid, an opponent draws a card. So almost like gifting, right? And then you exile target creature or planeswalker. This is a really strong card.
Mm-hmm.
For what it does, it's really strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also gets around indestructible, kind of like you were mentioning earlier with Massacre Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel?
So that's pretty brutal. I'm just looking at that. I never really played that card. I'm just trying to see what it's from.
It's from a few sets. From Strixhaven first.
I do love it. I do love everything Strixhaven. No, that's sick. We have Consider, just another card that's great for our Surveil theme. 1 blue, you Surveil 1, you draw a card. That's good. Good, clean fun for everyone.
Yeah. Then we've got Consign to Oblivion. Consign is 1 and a blue for an instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. And Oblivion is 4 and a black for a sorcery. It has Aftermath, so you can cast it only from your graveyard. And have target opponent discard 2 cards.
So with Consider, you still can cast it off the top of the library with your commander because the mana value only comes into play once it's on the stack. So at this point in time, this is a 7 mana cost card.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. So you can cast Consider. It's going to cost 2. By then, it's on the stack, and Glarb doesn't see it anymore.
The Consign one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So I had to look that up just in case.
Well, yeah, that's how it all works for, what's the name? Ninjas. Come on, help me out.
Yeah, for like Eureka and whatnot.
That's the one, yep.
Yeah. So I just wanted to double check. I'm like, am I correct on this or am I wrong? I don't remember.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we have Curate for 1 and a blue. Surveil 2, and you draw a card.
Yeah, nothing bad there. I like it. I like this mini Surveil theme you have in it.
It's in there from time to time, so yeah.
We have Curious Hurt. I love putting this card in decks. It's annoying. 3 and a green. Choose target opponent. You create X/3/3 green beasts, where X is the number of artifacts that player controls. I always target the treasure player, and they either always have to throw their cards away, or I get like 30 beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we're running into those games where we see a lot of people that are playing like with clues and food, especially food. You know, we have a lot of people that are ramping a lot with artifacts. So something like this does help, and it can generate a lot of beasts for us.
Yeah.
Slothy?
Then we've got Pertin's Call. 5 and a black. It's got Undaunted, and you can destroy 2 target creatures.
I love the Undaunted mechanic. Again, this is a nice cheap, like, what's that, 3 mana off, so 3 mana spell?
Yeah. If you still have 3 opponents.
That's true.
If you only have like 1 opponent, then you know it's a 5 cost, but still you're getting rid of 2 creatures. It's quite a bit. Oh wait, it's me next. Okay, the next one we have here is Death Sprout for 1 double black and a green. Destroy target creature. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library.
I love this card.
So good.
The flavor text on it is wicked. They say nothing lasts forever. I say everything lasts forever, just not in the form you may be accustomed to. Damn.
So true. So true.
This is also some of my favorite art in any Magic card.
Yeah, it's
so good.
It's so classic looking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just love like the life from death. Again, on theme with the card. It's great.
Yeah.
We've got our next one is a Croson Grip, which should be in way more decks, especially at only $1.50. 2 and a green, has split second, it's an instant. You destroy target artifact or enchantment. No one can respond. It's lovely.
It's so good. So good.
Yeah, there's like 3 things. You can willbender it. Technically, you can respond. I get it. I get it, YouTube comments. I have feelings. Everyone, no matter what, if I didn't say it, if I was like, you can't respond, there's going to be a comment by the end of it. Actually, you can respond if you have a willbender because more phone uses. I get it. I understand. I'm on painkillers. Leave me alone. Slothy, please.
We've got Lethal Scheme next. 2 double blue. It's got Convoke. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Each creature that convoked Lethal Scheme connives.
This is an interesting card. I want to play around with it more. So it seems interesting. You can see I have a lot of interaction in this deck.
Dan could never.
I could never. There's way too many. But generally, when we go through things, there's lots of cards I don't really like, and then I see people play them, and I see my fellow great co-hosts bust out awesome decks, and I'm like, hey, that is pretty cool. I have no respect for the connive mechanic. I think it's garbage. I don't like it at all. No one has convinced me otherwise. I don't think it's good. Maybe it's great in standard or something. I don't know.
But imagine having Jadzi being discarded, and then you're going to reanimate it because you're able to discard it into your grave.
I guess. I don't know. It just seems like a lot.
It seems like a lot, but keep in mind, like we're trying to fill up our graveyard a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
so it plays into it. Mm-hmm. You might not like the mechanic, but it plays into the deck.
I can see the theme, but I just look at it and I'm like, just yeah. Everything is like it connives, and I'm like,
I can see the theme you've got here, Sherman. I just disagree with it.
Yeah. I don't like to draw and discard. It's just not for me personally. That faithless looting art wrecked the whole genre.
The next card we have here as we're moving on is going to be Mission Briefing for 2 blue. You surveil 2, then choose an instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. You may cast it this turn. If that spell would be put in your graveyard, you exile it instead.
That's dope.
I need more of these cards. This is such a great card.
That's really good recursion.
Yeah.
We have a classic negate. 1 and a blue, you counter target non-creature spell. That's it. Easy. Yeah. Easy blip.
Nice and simple.
Then we got Otherworldly Gaze, single blue, surveil 3, flashback for 1 and a blue.
And then we have Pile On for 3 and a black. It has Convoke, and it says destroy target creature or planeswalker, and you surveil 2.
That's sick artwork.
It's so good. That's so awesome.
Really good artwork. That's crazy. I've never seen that artwork. It's really good. Is this one in the Mirko deck as well?
Yes.
I haven't played the Mirko deck. I've got too many decks to play, but it looks really fun. I barely edited that one because those were pretty decent out of the box decks.
They were really good.
Yeah, I've got I think that's why some of the new ones I'm like, oh, this sucked. Miss Bumbleflower is not a good precon deck. But it wasn't. But the old ones were just really, really good decks, and they were releasing banger after banger. That Mirko deck out of the box, phenomenal play. The flip Faceless Menace or whatever it is. That's the Morph one.
Yeah.
Was killer. The Goad deck was killer. Like they really knocked it out of the park with those decks.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. We've got our Price of Fame. 3 and a black, 2 less. I love these alternate casts. 2 or less to cast if it targets a legendary creature, which easy, it's commander. Destroy target creature for 2 mana off the top of your deck is annoying, and surveil 2.
Yeah. Then there's Reign of Revelation, 3 and a blue, draw 3, and then discard a card.
See if that was connive. Ooh, buddy, sign me up then.
And then we have a Rewind for 2 double blue, counter target spell, untap up to 4 lands.
I hate that card so much. I have PTSD
Imagine
from
passing
it.
off the top of your library, though.
I have PTSD.
It's a free spell.
If I thought you were hellbent, no cards in hand, and you rewind me from the top of the deck and then have it back, I'm going to have a stroke.
But it'd be a hilarious play.
Undoubtedly very funny, but man, would it upset me. And then our final one in the list we have is Unexplained Disappearance. 1 and a blue, return target creature to its owner's hand, and surveil 1. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only 19
Aren't
instants.
19 more than Dan plays.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm scrolling through like for the video part and everything, and I'm like, there's like 1 instant on the screen at the bottom. I was like, looks about right. Yeah. This is the way it was meant to be. In our land section, we have a Drownyard Temple, which is like a nice way to bring it back from the battlefield. You throw it away, no problem. Taps for colorless, pay 3, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. You have a Field of Ruin, which is brutal. I don't like seeing that. Sherman, what's that about?
You have to have land destruction. I don't care what anyone else says. You have to have some sort of land destruction. Field of Ruin or Ghostly Quarter or Strip Mine, something like that. Field of Ruin is the cheapest option.
It's pretty good. And and it is group hug. It will group hug the table.
Technically, that is true. Of all the land sections that we have, the only card that really matters is the Maids of Ith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
makes sense.
Because we have untappers.
Oh yeah, you've got a lot of things that untap permanents, not just
creatures, permanents, right? So
cool.
you can you can tap me with 3 creatures. I have 2 untappers. All right, I'll Maze If all 3 creatures.
I would have thrown in the new Surveil duels.
I'm trying to keep it budget.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not paying like $7 or $8 for a stupid land.
Are they that
My budget right now is under $140.
Yeah, they're getting up there.
They're getting up there.
It's because of Commander players. Commander players are animals. Stop taking all the lands so that I can have them.
But this
sincerely,
deck is $140, okay?
You do have a great budget for this one.
It was hard to bring it down to under 200.
Fair. I think is this our last section here, the sorceries?
It is the last section. It is sorceries.
I just looked at your mana value, 3.79. It's pretty solid. Nice little average mana value.
Yeah. It's going for because we're trying to play into the commander a little bit, but we really care about the dumping stuff into the graveyard.
See, you're a wiser person than me. I would have my average CMC would be like 6 because I'd be like the commander says 4 or more, so here it goes. Everything would be 4 or more. Yeah, here's 4 or more. 4 more Glarb. 4 more Glarb.
You need to find discounts if you're gonna do that, though. If there's no discounts, there's no benefit.
Yeah, that's why you're smarter than me.
And just throwing in things like Gilded Lotus and all those 4
Chromatic Orrery or bust. It's 7 mana. Yeah, and that's more than 4.
Meteorite.
I can't do much, but I can count. I do, like I said, every time I keep seeing these, I really, really like the alternate cost abilities you've got. Let's whose turn is it?
I believe it's mine.
Take it away, Slothy, please.
Our first sorcery we've got here is Advice from the Fae. It costs either blue or 2 mana, 3 times. So mana value of 6. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. If you control more creatures than any other player, put 2 of those cards into your hand. Otherwise, put 1 of them into your hand, then put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order.
I like it.
Yeah, just helping us dig. That's all we care about. And then we have Arwen's Gift for 3 and a blue. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control 2 or more legendary creatures. In all honesty, there is a very good chance that might not happen because we only have like 8 legendaries here.
Oh, fair.
Anyways, you scry 2 and draw 2 cards.
Still good even at 4.
Yeah.
Especially with like the ability to constantly cycle through there.
Oh yeah.
We have a Casualties of War, which is a brutal card. 2 double black, double green. You can choose 1 or more, and I do every time. Destroy target artifact, target creature, target enchantment, target land, target planeswalker, and you can choose 1 of each of those. That's wicked.
So strong. So much better than Decimate.
Again, another piece of land destruction. You do have to have a little in it. Sometimes the lands are just getting too good.
Yeah.
There's too many utility lands. There's a lot of decks that really, really is it Ezio? Is that what the commander's name is from Assassin's Creed?
Ezio is one of them, yeah.
Yeah, the 5-color one, the free running one.
Yeah.
You have to blow up their Urborg. You cannot let them have an Urborg in Ezio. I've played 7 or 8 different people's Ezio decks, and every one of them is like, I got a tutor for this Urborg. It's everything is get me that Urborg so I can get assassins going. Gotta blow it up. They can't have it. Urborg for none. No one's lands or swamps.
Everyone has to play with some sort of land destruction. I don't care if it's frowned upon now. Like, you know what? It's only frowned upon when it's mass land destruction, not single land destruction.
Yeah.
People have to understand that. So if you destroy 1 or 2 things, like I have a Maze of Ith, okay? If you destroy my Maze of Ith, I am perfectly fine. Well, I'm not perfectly fine with it. I am going to hate you for it, but still, it is the right call. It is the right play.
Yeah. You still get it, why they're doing it.
You have to have land destruction in the deck. I don't care. And this is just one of them.
I mean, even if people are a little bit shaky on running things that specifically blow up lands, put in Beast Within.
True.
Yeah.
Beast Within is target permanent.
Yep. So, or Generous Gift, or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't put in the Beast Within here. I decided to try something else. I don't even have a counterspell. I used to have counterspell, but it's $3.29 now. Come on.
I like the toolbox you've assembled here. I really, really like the back to nature, like the sweeping effects. Love them. Massacre Girl, back to nature. We've got another one coming up too. Slothy, take us away, please.
Yes. We've got Contingency Plan, 1 and a blue. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, put them back into your put any number of them into your graveyard, and the rest back on top of your library in any order.
Yeah. This has been errated to Surveil 5 now.
Is it that's what it is?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Cool. Put any number.
I want,
yeah, it is. It would be Surveil. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to find the foil copy of this. I have yet to find a foil copy of this. I've seen it once, and it looks so sick. It's outrageous.
For anyone who watches Jujutsu Kaisen, that's how they're animating Gojo's eyes every 5 seconds. 80% of the show is them animating Gojo's eyes. They had a blindfold so the animators didn't jump off buildings or something. I love that show. Great. Nearly done.
Next card we have here is going to be Creeping Corrosion for 2 double green sorcery. Well, because we're in sorcery, duh. Destroy all artifacts.
Yeah.
I like my board wipes. You guys know that.
Yeah. Again, treasure's out of control. Food's out of control. Clues out of control. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of people are going to, like, once again, they're relying on artifacts for mana rocks, right? We only have 2. We don't care. Just wipe them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flavor text just galore on all these. We will reveal the futility of their heresy by showing them how fragile their relics are as Vorinclex. And then the next one is on the same theme. It's Culling Ritual, which has never not hurt my feelings. Ever. It's 2/1 black, 1 green. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Add a black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. Ugh, it hurts so bad. I live for flooding the board with tokens, and I often die because I won't attack with them. I just want to see how many I can make.
It's so good.
But yeah, it's your own frailty is your undoing. I'm merely the one to expose it. Damn.
I still love the fact that this hits the Tarmogoyfs.
That's really funny. That's actually super funny.
I hate your Tarmogoyfs. I hate your Dissident deck.
No. It's normal. It could be trusted with 100 Tarmogoyfs on board.
Next one we've got is Cultivate. 2 in the green, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, put 1 on the battlefield tapped, other in your hand, and then shuffle.
It's me. I still have some staples in here.
You gotta sometimes.
You gotta have some staples. Overall, okay, I'm trying to stay away from a lot of them. There's a lot of cards here a lot of people have probably never seen.
Yeah.
All right, we have Deep Analysis for 3 in a blue. Target player draws 2 cards, and it has flashback for 1 in a blue. You pay 3 life, and yeah, you just draw 2 more cards than that.
3 life is nothing in Commander.
No.
Oh, I can't read this. Me cranking my neck to the silence. We have Discovery and Dispersal, which is a 7 CMC card, so you can cast it off the top. Surveil 2, then draw a card for a 1 and hybrid black-blue. And then the other side is 3/1 blue, 1 black. Each opponent returns a non-land permanent they control with the highest mana value to their owner's hand, and then discards a card. That's mean. That's funny.
Yeah. But this one actually can help us, just because like if we return like the highest CMC, it's gonna be something like super like Avatar or Woe or a Zoni Thousand Eye or something like that. Like sure, we have a Jadzi that's at 8,
Mm-hmm.
but still, like you return one of those ones and you kind of want to recast them anyways, or like Avatar or Woe, like it will cost us hopefully 2 by then. A Zoni, we just want to get more insects, right? So this can actually help us.
Well, again, too, it's also that side is an instant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty annoying to be able to bounce my biggest creature or biggest permanent. You know, a lot of times it's going to be if we're all on curb, I'm playing like a doubling season at 6 mana, right?
Yeah.
And then you just bounce it back, and I'm a whole turn back. Don't get my doubling season stuff off,
Yeah.
and possibly have to discard it. Ugh.
This next one's a fun one that I don't know if I've seen before.
I also haven't seen it, and I'm gonna get one.
Same. We've got Fade Away, 2 and a blue. For each creature, that creature's controller pays 1 or sacrifices a permanent.
Yeah. This is one of the most brutal board wipes out there for creatures, especially against token decks.
Yeah, no kidding.
And most of the time when it comes around, most people are tapped out, or they might have 1 or 2 mana open, maybe 4, who knows, right? So chances are
I rarely have the
wiping.
mana for this. This is surprisingly enough gonna go in one of my most annoying decks I've ever made, like my Fibblethip CEDH one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many decks that this would ruin.
Yeah, it's so annoying. This is one of the most annoying board wipes out there. For 40 cents, you can't go wrong.
True.
It's a good card. That's one thing. I like that you bring me interesting cards, Sherman.
I will always bring the heat for cheapness.
I was gonna say, and they're cheap. They're cheap too, because I like to buy. There's too many old cards that are not cheap. Yeah, that's wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next card here is going to be a Farseek for 1 in a green. Search your library for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain card. Put it in the battlefield, tapped, and shuffle.
Yeah, good. Just ramp land fix early. I'm happy to see the next one in it. Living Death. I was hoping it was there. I hate like it. It's a brutal. It's a brutal wipe because again, no indestructible matters. 3 double black. Each player exiles all creature cards from their graveyard, then sacks all creatures they control, then puts all cards he or she exiled this way onto the battlefield.
Yeah. Hopefully, we can outvalue people with our Surveil by dumping creatures in our graveyards constantly. Hopefully.
Well, the other thing too is this turns the threat of a board wipe off. Oh yeah, you got rid of all my cards. They're all back.
Yeah. But just remember what other people have in their graveyards, right? Hence why we have things like Scavenging Ooze.
Yep. Ooh,
I do not have a Bojuka Bog in here just because it's more interesting when I don't have it.
I like it.
Fair enough. Then we've got No One Left Behind. 4 and a black. The spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature with mana value 3 or less. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
I'm trying to piece together what this art is supposed to be. It looks like it's from Brothers War. What kind of mechs were they rocking back then?
Well, you had all the prototypes and then like the actuals, right? For the dragon engines.
Yeah, but still, damn.
Yeah,
it's cool artwork.
So, but this card is just silly and fun because like most of our untappers that we want are going to be 3 CMC. So, or anything that's kind of like utility is going to be like 3 CMC or lower. Like we can even bring back the Eternal Witness just for fun, and then have the Eternal Witness bring back No One Left Behind because it's in the graveyard by then. At least I think that's how it would work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah. Next card here we have is Notion Rain for 1 in a blue and a black. It's Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards, and Notion Rain deals 2 damage to you.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's only 2 damage. It's okay. It's Acid Rain.
Yeah.
Let's pollute less people. Protect the planet.
I'll cast this at 2 life. Don't test me. No one kills me but me. Even with a reprint, it's still expensive. The next one. We've got our Reanimate, the Outlaws extra reprint. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. You lose life equal to its mana value for 1 black.
Yeah.
There's never gonna be a cheap one of it. It's too good.
Yeah, it's too good. But this is the cheapest version I can find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the final card we've got here is Rise of the Dark Realms, 7 double black. Put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. I was hoping this would be here.
That's a
Fantastic
really good
card.
one,
Yeah, great win con. It's funny. I used this to hold someone hostage once in a game. So, because I kept on milling them with my Smeagol deck, and then I Rise to the Dark Realm. So I kept them alive, and then everyone tried to either kill that one person, so I'd lose all of the creatures, because they couldn't kill me, or the person would try to kill himself.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It's such a fun card.
Yeah,
Evan, I'm sorry. Shout out to you. I'm sorry I did that.
No, I really like this list. Like going through it and stuff, you have like a very unique toolbox of cards in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like it's very, very, very interesting in the sense that like I do have a lot of interaction. It's just interaction you normally don't see that often.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Yeah, you have a lot of
once again-
sections that are really, really cool, but there's like a creature section at $60. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Your enchantment's $8. Your instants $11. In fairness,
Yeah, like
my
the budget
instant
for this
sections,
overall is like under $140.
I was gonna say at least my instant sections are cheaper than $11. They're just not there. Yeah, no, this is
Yours is normally like maybe like 50 cents because you only have like one.
what does a Harrow cost, right? No, this is like a very, very cool deck that like I think what you said at the beginning is that you would see a lot of people do a more traditional like try play 6 lands a turn, landfall themed deck, and that just to me, like I said, that didn't seem the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I really like decks that are like this because generally speaking, when I play Magic, I like to try. I'm pretty good at understanding what people have in their deck in their hand based on like an average build, an average CMC open. I have no idea how to threat assess the randomness that is this deck, like the toolboxes that you have, the off the top of the deck instants with 2 mana open, knowing you can only cast for 4, and suddenly I'm bouncing my biggest creature. Like I think it's very, very cool. It's I personally think it's a well built deck for sure.
Definitely,
It's definitely I'll say this: it is a hard deck to play for this. It's not just like I'm going to tap this, untap this, blah blah blah. You have to put a lot of effort into planning what you're gonna do with this deck, because a lot of it relies on what everyone else is doing, because you're doing a lot of stuff during the end step.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing stuff during your turn, it's going to be sorceries and your creatures, right?
Yeah.
And then if you're doing that, you're going to try to leave certain amount of mana up, and it's you're going to be slow because of that. And at the same time, like you said, Daniel, like you're used to predicting things with people. I don't have things that are very predictable here. I have interaction, but I don't have your traditional counterspell. I don't have your traditional heroic intervention. I don't have the beast within. I don't have a lot of these things that you normally see a lot of. I don't have that. And you can tell people like I have answers. I just don't have those typical answers. And people are just like scratching their heads, like, what are you talking about? And like you said, it's because I can cast the top of my library for discounts, right? A Beast Within, it's only good in my hand, not on top of my library. A Heroic Intervention is only good at the top in my hand, not on top of my library. So I'm going to abuse the fact that I can use my library as an extra card in my hand, whether I can use it or not.
Well, yeah,
and
it's a totally new resource.
It with the Surveil.
Yeah. It like I said, it's a totally new resource available to you.
Yeah. It's like having 8 cards in your hand instead of 7. So that's how I pictured it. And the fact that your commander is letting you top deck manipulate helps a lot.
Well, yeah, being able to look at a minimum of 2 and decide if you want them there is a pretty powerful engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the deck.
Yeah. I got no complaints about it. I think it's really cool.
No. Mm-hmm.
There's like I said, my only complaint is I don't know what instants and sorceries are. All creatures, all gasoline. But no, yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I will.
Cool.
I say we end there. I got nothing else. Anyone else? Other comments before I go to it?
Nope.
Slothy?
Don't think so. I really enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to playing against it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add.
Yeah. Then I roll the outro. Thank you guys for getting to the end of the episode here. If you like what we're doing, like, share, subscribe. It really helps us out, supports us on the cheap. If you want to do a little more than that, come above and beyond, come build decks with us, come over to patreon.com. It's in the bio. The Into the 99 is our Patreon. You'll find the links, blah, blah, blah. It's in the show notes and everything, just like the deck list. Anything. You comments for like as little as $1, build decks with us, hang out, chat, great people and everything like that. We got to do another shout out of all of our patrons pretty soon here. But again, thank you everyone who is over on Patreon. If you want sleeves, can't talk. If you want sleeves for a deck like this, go to AI Armor. They are like, again, the best sleeves in the game. If you want expensive cards, go over to Abyss Proxy Shop. I'm tired today. Promo code IT99. It gives you a discount at your checkout. It helps them. It helps us. They're really, really good quality proxies for your more expensive cards. Really, really great service. Again, all these notes are in there. I'm going to be, like I said, streaming some Arena. Go check that out. Come hang out, visit, watch me play a not very good deck consistently. And yeah, that's it. That's it for now.
All right, guys. Thanks for checking us out.
Alrighty.
I'll catch you later.
Yeah. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye. I said bye, but I'm going to let it roll.
Peace out.